I'm sure it wasn't, like, so long ago, but...
Yeah.
And the last guy to redshirt and stay all 4 years after that, I mean, technically, Ray Gallegos did that. Maybe there's one other guy since him, but it just doesn't happen. So you're not losing his year of eligibility there. You're just letting him transfer and keep an, he's really not even, I mean, maybe he doesn't transfer, but I guess Glenn will probably be that guy who doesn't transfer, but he played his first year, and he's a good player. So I looked up, so Roby is actually 225 pounds.
I wonder if that's accurate. Like how often they update just like your normal Google search.
I don't know.
Because I feel like he's definitely probably gained weight over this summer.
Yeah,
Off-season.
but I mean that's a good. I mean at least that's probably what he was at
like
last
we consider
year.
Roby, like we always, like it's just general like kind of consensus that we want Roby to still put on more weight or whatever.
Yeah,
And he's just shorter than Brady and 30 pounds heavier.
yeah.
So,
But I do think it's possible that, I mean, Brady could put on more weight as the season goes. Maybe get to like 210 or 215. Mm-hmm. And if you get to 215, like Roby wasn't super small or something.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's possible. Let's see. Is there anything that we have left? Oh, somebody said, just as a note, I don't really know. He only has like 7 comments or something. But he kind of said it was like some source, so you always have to be skeptical of those guys, but it seemed reasonable. They said that after his knee surgery, he put on a ton of weight. Like, they wanted him at 260, and he was 295. Which, somebody else said, well, what did they kicked him off the team because he was overweight or something, but...
So when did, like, the knee surgery process end? Like, right, pretty much when he...
Well, I don't think it's ended
recently?
yet. I think he's still sort of recovering.
So, like,
because somebody mentioned he's not practiced.
Yeah. Because I was thinking,
but
like,
then,
if it was 2 months ago or a month ago when, like, he was at 295 because of the knee surgery or whatever, like, maybe then it would have been, like, a smarter call for Miles or something to say, like...
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned...
clearly not trying, we're going to let you go or whatever.
That it was 2 weeks ago, because they said, but I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's more speaks to, like, I don't think we let him go because of that, but, like, if, we had to let him go, or he's leaving, is it so important because, like, well, we did think he was going to be good, but if he's putting on that much weight, and I've seen, like, with Joel Embiid, when he's overweight, he can't run the floor, he's much worse, he gets tired in every game and can't play down the stretch. I mean, it really affects people, just having extra weight. And then, obviously, he wouldn't be practicing for a while, similar to kind of Roby timeline, because it wasn't a major knee surgery. It wasn't like he tore his ACL or anything. Yeah. But he wasn't practicing that whole time, and I would question how much he practices all the time anyway. But the last thing
effort he puts in that practice
is, so there's a guy who's been floated out there just by people saying we should go out and get him, is DeJerry Baptiste, who is now on Vanderbilt. We recruited him in 2014. I kind of remember that.
So he's a senior. Yeah,
he's a grad transfer. Well, no, he's not. So he would actually be he would only be eligible for the second semester. Okay. So like December 15th or something. And then he would have 1.5 years of eligibility. Kind of like what Copeland would have been if he didn't get cleared by the NCAA. But I don't think there's a chance of that happening to him. He's a, like, not great big man, just big.
but a body. And
yeah, basically what we needed Jordy to be, and maybe he would be less, unhappy with the program and less of a distraction or something. I would say I would go for him, but it would be tough to use one of those scholarships on, like, somebody who can't play for the first few
Yeah, and you don't really
games.
you have no idea, like, what you're getting into. I mean, like, you can see how he's played, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's more of just, like, a news thing than something we can talk about because we don't know too much. Oh, yeah. I wanted to add, that's basically... Do you have any final thoughts on Jordy or the top?
It's not like a... I wonder what it's like in the locker room. Like, I feel like he was really, like, he was liked by the players, but then also, I feel like if I was a player, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? I don't know, like, I'm just annoyed by all the drama he's causing.
Yeah, because he seems to be, like, super fun, but...
Like a fun guy, but then also
just,
like
I wonder
grow up kind of guys.
Yeah, it's like eventually you're just like,
you're fun,
okay, it was fun, but that's not
like when
really what we need.
Somebody
We're trying
takes
to
a joke
be
way too far. You're like, all right, let's actually.
We need to be serious at this point. We're trying to win. So I used that was the end off the Jordy discussion. I reposted the player power rankings on that one, and after that poll that I put up, I thought it would be interesting I did a MVP like voting analysis on the players and like how important they are, because I had people vote on their top 3, and I think Turan and Roby, or let's see, were Turan and Palmer tied? But I guess it doesn't matter. So for first place votes, but I used the MVP voting system for the NBA, which awards 10 points for a first place vote, 7 points to a second place vote, and 5 points to a third place vote. They do have 4th and 5th in the NBA, but I just took those out.
So 10, 7, and 5, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And at the end, it's actually really pretty close with the first 3 players. So, in first place, Turan Petaway had 385 points in this system. At second, James Palmer had 353, and that's like projected, what they think he's going to be. Roby was at 348 in third place, and then it drops off a lot. Siobhan Shields was at 120, Watson was at 104, and Ty Webster got 37 points. So that was really interesting. Like, it could really be debated if Turan, Palmer, and Roby are kind of the most important players of this year, or of the era.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like not so surprising but like the drop off after them. So then go down that low, the Shields, I don't know.
I think I had Shields higher. I think the reason I put Roby lower was just because I think he's gonna have a good season this year, but he will just go to the NBA, and I feel like he's so much potential that he'll like play well this year, but not be like a huge star
like that
absolutely dominates. But he'll still get drafted because he has a lot of potential and he can grow into a better player.
This year?
Yeah, and then he would leave the team, and like somebody like Palmer will actually be more of a help this last year and this year to the team. But I mean, he could totally prove me wrong and be incredible this year, or be pretty bad this year compared, or like not. I mean, he could not go to the NBA and come back for his senior season. So it's, I mean, very hard to tell. But that's why I had him lower. I think that is all for me. Is there anything else? Oh, I mean, with Thor, I looked at the rest of his games in FIBA. Didn't have a great tournament there. He had a few games where he had quite a few points. There were some games where he didn't play that much. I don't think he played over like 25 minutes in the
Weird.
games.
In the first game, he played almost like the whole thing.
Yeah, but they got blown out in every game. It definitely could be the team. I didn't watch them.
In the worst
they
team
played. They only scored like 70 or 60 points a lot of the games. So him not scoring that much. One game he had like no points. When he played a lot, I think he played like 24 minutes. So that was kind of surprising. But he pretty consistently had good assist numbers, which is at least good to see. And yeah, we'll just have to see what he does this year on the court. So I think that's good to end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys. Thanks for listening.